You're watching CBS 2 News this morning. Now, from Studio 46.
Caught in the crossfire, a toddler killed in an Easter tragedy on a street in the Bronx.
And a crucial decision for the city's transit workers, and the judge's ruling could send the union right off the rails.
And criminal charges, the next step in the Duke sex scandal, even without DNA evidence.
Good morning. Glad to have you with us on this Monday morning, April 17th. I'm Kate Sullivan.
And hello, everyone. I'm Maurice Dubois. Let's get you started. Up and out the door, Audrey Puente with your forecast. Hi, Audrey.
Good morning to both of you. Well, it looks pretty good out there so far this morning, but it is a little bit cooler than we have seen lately. So you want to grab a light jacket as you head out this morning. Expect temperatures mostly in the 40s, although we're picking up a few 30s north and west of the city. By this afternoon, we'll have plenty of sunshine out there. High temperatures will move into the upper 50s, possibly 60 degrees across somewhere in the area. And it looks like by the p.m. rush, we'll have temperatures into the mid-50s, along with a few more clouds sprinkling our skies. Sunrise will be at about 6:14 this morning. It'll be setting at about 7:37 as those days get longer. And we'll talk all about what you can expect for your full work week coming up in just a little bit. For now, let's check on this morning's traffic and transit commute. For that, we'll go over to Adrienne Watson. Good morning.
Good morning, Audrey. And we just had an accident come in westbound LIE before Junction Boulevard, one-lane block there. Let's see what else is happening. One other big problem this morning, and it's a biggie. It's on the Cross Bronx Expressway. Let's take a closer look at that map. It's westbound Cross Bronx Expressway at the Sheridan, and that unfortunately is blocking 2 lanes on your westbound side. Very, very heavy delays coming through the area. If you could sneak onto the Bruckner, that would be a very good choice right now. If you're trying to make your way through Connecticut, no major problems right now. Merritt Parkway, Route 1, Connecticut Turnpike, those are looking good. And all of our main roads on Long Island checking in just fine. Let's take a look right now at the New Jersey Turnpike. Voila, we had a lot of travelers last week, and some of them will be coming back today. So you may have some heavier than normal delays making your way northbound on the Turnpike. Times Square. Tonight we have some closures in Times Square with a movie shoot. That's going to be happening all week, but that begins at 9 o'clock tonight till 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, so keep that in mind. If you're going inbound at the Hudson River crossings right now, we've got very minor delays. East River crossings, it's the same story, and alternate side of the street parking rules back in effect. Kate, Maurice, back to you.
Okay, Adrienne, thanks so much. Our top story this Monday morning, a toddler killed by a stray bullet in the Bronx. Police say 2-year-old David Pacheco Jr. was riding in a minivan with his family on Easter Sunday when the bullet came right into the vehicle. CBS 2's Tamsin Fidel live in Morris Heights right now with more. Tamsin, good morning.
Well, Maurice, good morning. The van came through this intersection traveling eastbound about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Inside the van, 6 children, including that 2-year-old toddler who is dead this morning. Meanwhile, the person who pulled the trigger is still out there. It was a shot apparently fired in anger on West Tremont Avenue that missed its target and instead hit a passing minivan full of children on their way to Easter services. One of those children, a 2-year-old toddler strapped in a car seat, wound up being the innocent victim.
The baby was shot on the side, but it looked like he had 2 gunshot wounds, but it's actually one because it went right through. It was in and out. Bullet went right through me.
The baby wasn't moving. The baby looked like a rag doll in her hand.
Angelo Cruz, who heard the mother's frantic screams, gave 2-year-old David Pacheco CPR, trying everything he could to save the child's life.
I was breathing for him en route to the hospital. Halfway there, the baby let out like a yarn, he stretched out, so he was still breathing, and he was gurgling. When we got into the hospital, the baby was breathing at the hospital, but all efforts failed. The baby did die at the hospital, you know.
Sorry.
So, yeah. But, you know, we tried the best we could, you know.
The victim's mother and aunt were in the car with 5 other children when it happened.
Make sure y'all get the who did this to my son.
I just hope that whoever done this is brought to justice. I really hope I'll bring to justice because, you know, that's a 2-year-old child. You know, what can I say? I mean, 2-year-old child.
And this morning, we understand police do have a very good description of the shooter from eyewitnesses out here on the scene and are also talking to the apparent intended targets of this shooting as well in hopes of closing in on the person who did this. We're live in Morris Heights this morning. I'm Tamsin Fidel, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Tamsin, thank you. And to see more of our interview with the Good Samaritan who desperately tried to save the toddler's life, you can log on to our website. That's WCBS-TV.com.
A funeral will be held today on Staten Island for the retired Port Authority police officer allegedly killed by a retired NYPD officer. Family and friends gathered over the weekend to remember Stephen Vitale at a wake in Eltingville this morning. This will come together for his memorial service at Our Lady Star of the Sea. Police say 46-year-old Alan Lau shot and killed Vitale during an apparent road rage incident Monday in Heartland Village. Lau is charged with murder. It is decision day for transit workers who went on strike in December. A judge will rule on how much the TWU will pay in fines, and the figure could be in the millions. CBS 2's Tanya Rivero is live in downtown Brooklyn with details. Tanya.
Well, good morning, Kate. It's a multi-million-dollar fine that TWU President Roger Toussaint says could cripple the union. Today, the union will learn the price of a 3-day transit strike. The union for bus drivers and subway operators faces a $3 million fine, and today Justice Theodore Jones is expected to hand down the actual bill. The judge is also being asked by state lawyers to suspend the union's ability to automatically collect dues. At a TWU rally last week, President Roger Toussaint called that possibility far more serious than the jail sentence he was issued. A Brooklyn judge ordered Toussaint to spend 10 days behind bars for calling the illegal 3-day transit strike last December. He was also fined $1,000 for criminal contempt. Toussaint is expected to begin serving his 10-day jail sentence next week. He had 30 days to appeal, but the union leader said over the weekend he plans to turn himself in a week from today. Now, the same judge that ordered Toussaint's jail sentence also gave the TWU's Secretary-Treasurer Ed Watt a $500 fine, but no jail time. We're live in downtown Brooklyn this morning. Tanya Rivero, CBS 2 News. Kate Maurice, back to you.
Thank you, Tanya. Charges are expected to be filed today against 2 lacrosse players at Duke University in connection with the alleged rape of an exotic dancer. Defense lawyers showed CBS News 23 time-stamped photos taken at the house the night the dancer claims the attack took place. They claim the pictures indicate the woman arrived at the party already bruised and cut. Last week, attorneys representing several Duke players said DNA tests showed no link between the alleged victim and the 46 players tested. Investigators in the Natalie Holloway case are trying to find the connection between the latest suspect in custody and the missing Alabama teenager. Police in Aruba have arrested 19-year-old Jeffrey Van Krumvoort, whose sister is a police trainee. No other details have been released. Holloway was last seen on May 30th of last year leaving a bar with 3 men. Those men were arrested but never charged due to lack of evidence.
On Long Island, dozens of people woke up Easter Sunday and found their tires were slashed. It happened in Lindenhurst. The 2 tires on 2 dozen cars were punctured, mostly likely by an ice pick. Police believe the damage was done sometime after 6 Saturday night.
That's it right there. All the tire, every tire is like that.
You wake up in the morning and you find your tires are slashed, you know. They only got 1 on my truck, the front one up here. Yeah. My wife's car, they got 2.
Fortunately, the owner of a local tire repair shop is offering his support to the victims by repairing the damaged tires free of charge. Meanwhile, 7 Parsippany High School students will begin serving 5-day suspensions today. School officials say they put vulgarities and photos of classmates and teachers on MySpace accounts. A teacher surfing the net found one of the MySpace sites 2 weeks ago. All 7 students, including 18-year-old Milos Zubel, have admitted their involvement. The interim superintendent says the issue is using photos of student and staff without their permission, not free speech.
And some confusion today about when you've got to file your taxes. Since April 15th fell on Saturday. The filing deadline for New York and 5 other northeastern states is actually tomorrow. Those returns are processed in Massachusetts, where today is Patriots Day, a state holiday there. IRS processing center there is also closed, but if you live in New Jersey or Connecticut, your filing deadline is still today.
All right, time now, 5:07. Let's get a quick look at your forecast with Audrey Puente. Hi, Audrey.
Good morning, Kate and Maurice. Did you enjoy this weekend?
It was fabulous. And yours?
Phenomenal.
Anything you want to tell us this morning, like hello?
Well, good morning to both of you. Yes, we have a new start here at CBS, new graphics to look at, which is great and exciting here in the Weather Center, as well as for all of us here in the news. Anything you guys would like to say as well?
Yeah, we want to say hello and welcome to Kate, especially coming to town here from Little Rock.
Thank you so much. Originally from Lakeville, Massachusetts, so this is very exciting. I can't tell you what it's like to be back on the East Coast after, you know, my career has kind of had me around the country, so it's wonderful to be back home.
And I can't tell you how exciting it is to be back at this hour of the morning myself also. It's never felt better.
It is.
No,
really
actually, it's a good thing. We're looking forward to it. Gonna have a good time, bright and early every single day. So that's the deal.
And a perfect weekend. Talk about the perfect weekend to welcome, to be welcomed into New York.
And we got that out of the way. Let's talk about the weather, right?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, though, folks, it looks like we're going to see cooler temperatures going into the start of our week. We did have a great weekend with temperatures well above average, but now we're going to be a little closer to average as we take a look outside this morning. A little cool out there. We're looking live at what we see there is the full moon in the distance there. All is quiet in New York City and throughout the tri-state area. And we're waking up with mostly clear skies out there. So if you can get a chance and peek out the window, take a good look at that full moon out there. Right now we're at 50 degrees in Central Park. The winds are coming out of the north and they're relatively light. They're at about 8 miles per hour. Normally our high temperature should be at about 61 degrees. We'll be very close to that today. Normal low will be about 44. Your sun will be rising at 6:14 this morning. Sun will be setting at 7:37 later on this evening. Now we'll start off with plenty of sunshine today, but we'll have some clouds rolling in as we go into the evening hour. Temperatures also a bit cooler than we saw over the weekend, but the good news is we'll stay dry throughout most of the week. As we go into the middle part of the week, we'll begin to see temperatures warm up, and then we'll be above average like we were over the last several days. But we're waking up very chilly this morning north and west of the city. It's 35 in Poughkeepsie right now. We're at the freezing mark in Sparta, New Jersey, and Somerville is checking in with 38 degrees. We're in the 40s in Belmar, 40s across Long Island, and Bridgeport is also in the 40s, checking in with 43 degrees right now. Things are pretty quiet in the northeast. A few clouds off towards our north, but right here in the tri-state area, we have mostly cloudy sky, or mostly clear skies. A little bit of moisture is streaming in just to our south. It's all courtesy of an area of low pressure that's bringing some wet weather into the Ohio Valley this morning. We have some strong storms moving into western parts of West Virginia right now, but this will be diving to our south, so we should really escape the moisture from this. Maybe a few clouds over the southern part of New Jersey, but other than that, very quiet. Plenty of sunshine today. A cool flow coming in from the north and northeast, though, will keep temperatures down. We'll see some clouds build up, especially across the east tonight, but the good news is those clouds will be here in the morning. They'll quickly move out by the midday tomorrow, and we should see plenty of sunshine for our Tuesday as well. Now, taking a look at our overall pattern, what we have is an area of low pressure situated just off of Maine. That's allowing a dry airflow to come into the region. It's also helping to block that low off towards our west. That low is going to dive to our south, keeping the moisture across parts of the mid-Atlantic. We stay dry for the next several days, and we should see plenty of sunshine as our temperatures slowly begin to moderate. Today's high will be a cool 59 degrees. Cool meaning we've been very warm lately. 45 will be overnight low, mostly cloudy with 30s inland. Then looking ahead to tomorrow, we'll start off with a few clouds in the morning. We should see plenty of sunshine, though, by midday. It'll be a little bit breezy, so that 59 will actually feel a little bit cooler tomorrow. And then as we go through the next several days, it looks great this week. Wednesday, we warm up to 68 degrees, so that's when we'll be above average once again. Then we'll be at 70 on Thursday. The clouds increase on Friday, and the clouds are coming in ahead of a system that unfortunately is going to be bringing us wet weather over the weekend. So even though we're going to have a very fabulous week, looks like we're going to need those umbrellas as we go into Saturday and Sunday.
But a phenomenal forecast on the outlook.
Yeah, very good. Very good for the next 5 days. I don't have much to say about that.
Chamber of Commerce weather.
Today, right?
Outstanding.
Definitely good work first week for you, isn't
Exactly. Thanks so much, Audrey. Appreciate it. Coming up, it's neighbor versus neighbor, but an animal ends up the victim. Details and disturbing charges against a Long Island man next.
Also, a twister on tape, up close and personal with some wild weather, and Mother Nature actually couldn't have picked a better place to hit.
And $3 a gallon. Why the pain at the pump is only going to get worse.
Plus, maybe you're not what you eat when going on a diet just isn't enough. In your morning health watch. And the roadways, Adrian.
All right, Maurice and Kate. Well, it's going to be a tough time getting to the George Washington Bridge from the Bronx. I'm going to tell you why in just a couple of minutes coming up.
Coming up on 5:15 on a Monday morning as you look outside Grand Central Parkway, rolling past LaGuardia Airport. Looking good at the moment.
Glad to have you with us. We want to get you caught up on traffic with Adrienne Watson. Hi, Adrienne.
Hello, Kate. Hello, Maurice. Well, people in the Bronx are not going to be too happy this morning. We got a couple of problems on the Cross Bronx Expressway. Let's take a closer look and see what is happening here. It's going to be westbound side of the Cross Bronx. We had an accident before the Sheridan Expressway. It was cleared, and now we have another one after the Sheridan Expressway. So very, very heavy delays. If you could sneak onto the Bruckner, that would be a very good alternate this morning as you try to make your way on the Long Island Expressway westbound. There's an accident before Junction Boulevard. That one's blocking at least one lane. And as you try to make your way in at the Goethals Bridge, Bayonne Bridge, Outer Bridge Crossing, no problems there through Staten Island. So that's at least some good news for you. We switch over to the cameras right now. The Grand Central Parkway by LaGuardia. Grand Central, a very good alternate right now to that problem on the Long Island Expressway as you make your way through Queens. And again in Times Square. Why are we talking about Times Square? Oh, nobody's out, just a couple of cabs. Later on tonight, different story. There's a movie shoot beginning tonight. Times Square will have complete closures beginning at 9 o'clock tonight. Of course, no shows tonight on Broadway, but tonight 9 to 6 in the morning, you definitely don't want to be driving anywhere through Times Square. Hudson River crossings are checking in just fine right now, less than 5 minutes at all of them. You're okay pretty much all the way up to the Tappan Zee Bridge, and alternate side of the street parking rules there in effect. Kate, Maurice?
All right, thanks so much, Adrienne. Here's a look at some of the stories making news right now. Severe weather hits Illinois. An amateur photographer captured this funnel cloud on tape. It hit an empty farm field, kicking up debris. Golf ball-size hail was also reported throughout the state. Thankfully, no injuries. Today, veterinarians will examine the body of a black bear believed to have killed a 6-year-old girl in Tennessee. The U.S. Forest Service captured the bear yesterday. Last week, a black bear attacked a family from Ohio visiting the Cherokee National Forest in Polk County. The girl's mother and 2-year-old brother are expected to recover. And an accident involving a fire truck critically injures 5 people, including 4 children, all under the age of 12. Yesterday in Washington State, police say a car rear-ended the fire truck that was stopped at a red light. The firefighters were not injured.
Taking a look at Wall Street this morning, stocks may rise this week with analysts expecting companies to report strong quarterly profits, but traders will be keeping a close eye on rising oil prices, which could limit market gains. March inflation figures also due out this week. The market begins the week with the Dow up about 7.5 points, NASDAQ up 11.5, and the S&P is up 1. Traders should be ready to go after their nice long 3-day weekends.
Now in this morning's Health Watch, federal health officials say it could be just a matter of weeks before the avian flu arrives here in the U.S. in the form of migrating birds. The government is now finalizing a plan that dictates how federal agencies will respond if the bird flu is transmitted to humans. The 240-page plan outlines who will receive the first vaccinations, and it also anticipates problems with internet usage if Americans are forced to stay home from work to avoid infection.
Officials in Canada confirm a case of mad cow disease has been found on a farm in British Columbia. It's the country's 5th case of mad cow since May of 2003. The 6-year-old dairy cow was identified by a national surveillance program. Canadian officials say no part of the cow made its way to any products consumed by humans or animals. U.S. government says it'll send health inspectors to Canada to assess any potential health risks to Americans.
And a new study confirms what some chronic dieters have known for years. If you want to lose weight, diet alone just won't do it. That's according to scientists in Oregon who studied the eating and exercising habits of monkeys. They say it didn't seem to matter what the monkeys did or did not eat. Researchers say the body tries to compensate for calories you're not taking in by lowering its metabolism and activity level.
Okay, it's 52 degrees outside at 5:18, coming up on 5:19. The due date's still a ways off, but Brad and Angelina have already made not one, but 2 big decisions about their baby. That's coming up later.
And next, the cost of gas shooting through the roof. The prices that may make you look twice, and there is no relief in sight. Time now is 5:21. Beautiful shot of the moon, clear skies. Looks like it's going to be a pretty nice day.
Pretty pictures right there, huh?
Absolutely.
I don't know why you have to lower your voice when you see pictures like that. It's just pretty. It's gorgeous.
Whisper, time to whisper.
That's right. People are sleeping. Well, we should wake them up. Audrey's got a forecast to get you up and out. Hey, Audrey.
Good morning to both of you. You can see from that shot we do have clear skies. No clouds are blocking our view of the moon this morning. And we're going to see plenty of sunshine when that rises later on at about 6:14. Let's take a look, though, at your travel forecast throughout the Northeast. We're expecting plenty of sunshine from Newburgh all the way down to Princeton. 56 will be the high temperature up in Newburgh. 56 also in Norwalk, Connecticut. Bushwick will come in with 59 later on this afternoon, and a little cool out towards Bayshore with a high of 56 degrees. Let's take a look at our satellite and radar from coast to coast. We do have some wet weather moving through the Ohio Valley right now. It'll be moving into the mid-Atlantic as the morning moves on. Northeast looks good today, so does the southeast. The midsection of the nation will become quite hot with temperatures well above average, and it looks like we're going to see some snow in the Rockies and more wet weather for parts of California. San Francisco will have a high of 59 degrees. If you head into Seattle, expect 55 there. Hot in Texas. Houston will be at 93. 70 degrees is the expected high in St. Louis. Nice and dry through Detroit later on this afternoon. Expect a high of 59 there. It will be cool in Boston. We'll have some rain moving into Washington, D.C., and it'll be hot in Atlanta and warm in Orlando with a high of about 88 degrees. That's warm for Orlando. Not hot. Hot for us, but warm for Orlando. All right, 59 today, a little cooler in our area. 59 tomorrow, a little breezy tomorrow. Wednesday, we'll see more sunshine. Thursday looks great with a high of 70. And on Friday, we'll see clouds moving into the region. That's coming in ahead of a system that could bring us some wet weather over the weekend. Let's head back to Kate and Maurice.
All right, all good. Thank you, Audrey.
With the weather getting a little bit warmer, people are ready to start thinking about summer vacation getaways.
But with gas prices hovering around $3 a gallon, the joyride's going to cost you. CBS 2's Wendy Gillette has more on the pumped-up prices.
Are high gas prices guzzling up your savings?
It's really high. That's why I'm driving a small car. I don't want to drive a big car. I left my big car home.
AAA reports the average per gallon for regular unleaded is now $2.92 compared to a month ago when the average was almost 40 cents lower at $2.53. Prices typically pump up even higher as summer approaches and more Americans hit the highways. But with prices already topping out well over $3 in some spots, the question is, how much more are we going to have to pay? AAA spokesman Robert Sinclair says he expects prices to go up 10 or 20 cents in the next month. But he admits that trying to forecast volatile gas prices is no exact science.
We're on very shaky ground, and various factors play into gasoline prices, and something real or imagined could lead to prices spiking overnight.
Sinclair says the current cost of gas is a consequence of higher crude oil prices, driven by political tension in several countries. Gas attendant Vito Colello deals with the fallout.
Complaints left and right that they can't make ends meet, they're cutting back.
Joseph LaCorey delivers bread to New Yorkers 7 days a week. He says prices like this, $3.29 a gallon right off the Long Island Expressway in Bayside, are delivering him a direct hit to his wallet.
It cuts right into my business because my business runs basically on the gas. You know, if I can't get to my counts, this is the problem.
At this rate, filler up may become filler halfway up. In Bayside, Wendy Gillette, CBS 2 News.
And if you want to know where some drivers have found cheap gas and cheap gas prices, check out the Pump Patrol on our website. It's WCBS-TV.com.
Coming up, mounting criticism, the war of words over Donald Rumsfeld.
Plus, the sad search for a missing college student from New Jersey. The steps crews are taking today also ahead.
And a little bit later, the hot fashion trend is green, but we're not talking about the color, environmentally friendly fashion as we continue. A stray bullet and a 2-year-old boy becomes the victim of senseless violence on Easter Sunday. The clues cops have to work with coming up.
And the battle over Donald Rumsfeld. This morning, the Department of Defense is on the defensive. It's 5:28 as we welcome you to CBS 2 News this morning. Welcome, everybody. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Kate Sullivan. Hope you're having a great morning. It's Monday, April 17th. Audrey Puente here with a quick check on the forecast. Hi, Audrey.
Good morning, Kate and Maurice. Good morning, everyone. We're starting off a little bit cool this morning, so you may want to grab a jacket on your way out the door. But later this afternoon, we'll see plenty of sunshine moving through the tri-state area. This morning's temperatures are in the 40s and in the 30s, but by midday we should be at about 50 degrees, and we're forecasting a high of 59 in Central Park. A few clouds will roll in late tonight. Your sun will be rising at 6:14 this morning and setting at 7:37 later on this evening. Let's check on this morning's commute coming up. For that, we're going to go over to Adrian Watson. Good morning.
Good morning, Audrey. Well, let's get right to the Cross Bronx. Let's take a look at a map. This is our trouble spot times 2. We've had 2 separate accidents by the Sheridan. That's the bad news. The good news is they have both been cleared. So happy travels through the Bronx. You still want to sneak onto the Bruckner as your alternate. In New Jersey, we're doing fine on all of our roadways heading eastbound. No major problems there. Let's take a live look outside and see how we're doing on the Gowanus-BQE combination as you make your way toward the Brooklyn Bridge. Slowing down per the usual. And a quick look at Route 495 right now en route to the Lincoln Tunnel. At the tolls, we've got no major problems yet. Good news at all of our Hudsons. Still very minor delays. It is going to get crowded later on. Trains are fine and alternate side of the street parking rules there in effect for today. Maurice, Kate?
All right, thanks so much, Adrian. Tragedy strikes a family on Easter Sunday. Their toddler shot and killed by a stray bullet in the Bronx. Police say 2-year-old David Pacheco Jr. was riding in a minivan with his family when the bullet came right into the vehicle. CBS 2's Tamsin Fidel is live in Morris Heights with more. Tamsin.
Okay, good morning. I'm standing in the middle of the intersection where this happened. The van filled with 6 children and a family was traveling right across the intersection here going eastbound around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The family on their way to Easter services when a stray bullet came through the window and hit a 2-year-old little boy who was in his car seat. This morning he's dead and the person who pulled the trigger is still out there. It was a shot apparently fired in anger on West Tremont Avenue that missed its target and instead hit a passing minivan full of children on their way to Easter services. One of those children, a 2-year-old toddler strapped in a car seat, wound up being the innocent victim.
The baby was shot on the side, but it looked like he had 2 gunshot wounds, but it's actually one because it went right through. It was in and out. Bullet went right through me.
The baby wasn't moving. The baby looked like a rag doll in her hand.
Angelo Cruz, who heard the mother's frantic screams, gave 2-year-old David Pacheco CPR, trying everything he could to save the child's life.
I was breathing for him en route to the hospital. Halfway there, the baby let out like a yarn, he stretched out, so he was still breathing and he was gurgling. When we got into the hospital, the baby was breathing at the hospital, but all efforts failed. The baby did die at the hospital. You know?
Sorry.
So yeah. But, we tried the best we could,
The victim's mother and aunt were in the car with 5 other children when it happened.
Make sure y'all get the who did this to my son.
I just hope that whoever done this is brought to justice. I really hope I'll bring the justice because, that's a 2-year-old child. What can I say? I mean, a 2-year-old child.
Now, this morning, we understand police do have a pretty good description of the person they're looking for, and they have also talked to the apparent intended targets as well in this shooting, hoping to close in on the person who did this. We're live in Morris Heights this morning. I'm Tamsin Fidel, CBS 2 News.
Tamsin, thank you. Now to our other top stories this morning. In the Duke University rape case, defense attorneys showed CBS News time-stamped photographs taken the night the attack allegedly took place. The attorneys claimed the pictures prove the exotic dancer who claimed she was attacked arrived at the party bruised and cut. Still, they expect charges to be filed against 2 Duke students today. A funeral will be held today for retired NYPD officer Stephen Vitale. He was shot during an apparent road rage incident last Monday. And a judge decides today whether the Transport Workers Local 100 gets hit with huge fines for the illegal strike back in December. CBS 2's Tanya Rivero live in downtown Brooklyn this morning with more. Hi, Tanya.
Well, good morning, Maurice. Just how much does an illegal 3-day transit strike cost? Well, today, the Transport Workers Union finds out. The union for bus drivers and subway operators faces a $3 million fine. And today, a Brooklyn judge is expected to hand down the actual bill. TWU President Roger Toussaint says that kind of money could cripple the union and called the fine far more serious than the 10-day jail sentence he was issued for calling the illegal 3-day transit strike last December. Now, Toussaint is expected to begin his 10-day jail sentence next week. He had 30 days to appeal, but the union leader said over the weekend he plans to turn himself in a week from today. We're live in downtown Brooklyn. Tanya Rivero, CBS 2 News.
Thank you.
Maurice, back to you.
Thank you, Tanya. On Long Island, a man is accused of trapping his neighbor's cat and then having it put to sleep. Police say 56-year-old Richard DeSantis trapped the cat in his backyard, then took it to the town of Islip Animal Shelter, where it was euthanized earlier this month. He's been charged with possession of stolen property, criminal mischief, and making a false written statement. DeSantis faces up to a year in prison if convicted on all charges. This morning, investigators looking for a missing College of New Jersey freshman will resume their search in a Pennsylvania landfill. 19-year-old John Fiocco Jr. was last seen inside his college dorm in Ewing on March 25th after returning from a party. His roommate reported him missing the next day. Authorities say Fiocco's blood was found a few days later in a trash dumpster located near the dorm building.
It might be a while before we see a new government in Iraq. The acting speaker has delayed today's scheduled parliament meeting to give the political parties more time to agree on a new prime minister. And a new round of attacks targeting Shiites in Iraq has left at least 35 people dead. Police say 10 were killed by a car bomb that went off near a mosque in a town 20 miles south of Baghdad. And in the northern city of Mosul, gunmen killed 7 workers who were renovating a local police station. Back in this country, the war of words continues this morning over Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld. Several retired generals are calling for his resignation, but the Pentagon is coming to his defense. CBS News' Susan Roberts live in Washington this morning with the story. Hi, Susan.
Maurice, hi there. Good morning to you. Well, it looks like Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld is not going anywhere, at least for now. A long list of politicians is lining up behind him, most notably the president.
Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld has Republicans and the Pentagon rallying to his defense in the wake of calls for his resignation.
We gave him our best military advice, and I think and that's what we're obligated to do. If we don't do that, we should be shot.
Former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Richard Myers, went to bat for Rumsfeld this weekend after a half a dozen other retired generals called for him to step down. Some said they believed Iraq war policies were flawed, but intimidation by Rumsfeld kept them quiet.
And then you have to believe everybody in the chain of command is intimidated. Well, I don't believe that.
President Bush reaffirmed his confidence in the defense secretary with a statement from Camp David. Meanwhile, the Pentagon circulated a memo meant to counter calls for his resignation. It said U.S. senior military leaders are involved to an unprecedented degree in every decision-making process in the Department of Defense, and that Secretary Rumsfeld created new decision-making bodies. Democrats are not satisfied and have been pouring on more criticism.
This reaches a new level, I believe, of not willing to admit mistakes, not willing to change a course policy that is just not working.
With the president's support, Rumsfeld stays put, and observers say any change now would be like the White House admitting that its Iraq war policy was a failure. Live in Washington, I'm Susan Roberts, CBS 2 News this morning. Kate, back to you.
Susan, thank you. It was the first Easter Mass for the new Pope. Pope Benedict XVI delivered a message of peace as he presided over his first Easter Mass since becoming Pope. A crowd of nearly 100,000 people gathered in St. Peter's Square yesterday. The pontiff called for peaceful resolutions to conflicts in the Mideast, Africa, and the Iranian nuclear crisis. This Easter also happened to be the Pope's 79th birthday. Meanwhile, here at home, Christians marked Easter by attending religious services and enjoying a colorful Fifth Avenue tradition. Many of the faithful gathered at St. Patrick's Cathedral to worship and celebrate the most joyous day of the Christian calendar. Then, after morning Mass, they put on their finest and most unusual Easter bonnets and joined the big parade.
Nice chapeaus. What a gorgeous day it was yesterday.
It was absolutely perfect.
You were out in the park, right, for a little bit?
I did. I went for a run, and it was thousands of people. It was incredible.
Millions.
Millions, if
Everybody
you will.
was out. What a great day. How about today, Audrey?
Well, a little bit cooler today, folks. It looks like the warm weather we had over the weekend has now left us temporarily. We'll be warming up as we go into the middle part of the week, and the good news is we're going to stay dry, I think, for the next several days. Here we are looking live overhead, and the sun is now starting to brighten up the skies. It'll be coming up over the horizon shortly. Official sunrise is about 6:15 this morning, and we should see plenty of sunshine. We're starting off mostly clear throughout the area. A few high clouds, though. We can see in that picture. Temperature in Central Park is 50 degrees right now. Winds are coming out of the north. They're light. They're coming in at about 8 miles per hour. Normally, our high temperature should be at about 61. We'll be just a few degrees shy of that today. Our normal low is usually about 44. Your sun will be setting starting tonight at 7:37, and those days are getting nice and long. We'll have plenty of sunshine today, although temperatures will be a little bit cooler than we saw over the weekend. We'll be dry throughout most of the week. It's by the end of the week where we're going to start to see more clouds coming in and possibly a chance of some showers, but we'll have a warming trend. By the middle part of the week, we'll see temperatures rising above normal once again, and it'll be nice and mild throughout the region. We're starting off a little cool in Mott Haven. That's where they're coming in with 42 degrees. Elsewhere, we're at 47 in Massapequa, a little chilly in Middletown with a temperature of 33, and definitely grab that jacket and a pack on. It's 37 degrees outside your door there. Nice and dry and clear here in the Northeast. There's a few showers just to our south moving into the mid-Atlantic. It's part of a system that's bringing wet weather into the Ohio Valley this morning, and it should head all into the mid-Atlantic today, so we should stay dry. Maybe a few clouds may stream in across parts of southern New Jersey, but everyone else will see plenty of sunshine today. We have a cool flow, though, coming in from the north and the northeast, so that's going to keep temperatures down a bit, and we'll also see some clouds come into the picture, probably out east first, around eastern Connecticut and eastern Long Island. And tonight, everyone will get a good dose of cloud cover. Tomorrow morning, the clouds will linger a little bit, but then they'll move out towards the east. We'll see plenty of sunshine as high pressure moves in from the west, but it will be a bit breezy tomorrow, so temperatures will stay the same, but it'll feel cooler tomorrow with a breeze coming in out of the north. Looking ahead for today, though, it's 59 degrees underneath plenty of sunshine today. Those clouds will roll in late tonight, and tonight will be mostly cloudy with a low 45 in the city. We'll have 30s inland. Tomorrow we'll start out with a few clouds, then we'll see plenty of sunshine. That 59, though, will feel probably more like 50 degrees with all the breezes flowing through the area. And looking ahead at the next 5 days, we warm up on Wednesday, 68 degrees for the high there. We'll have plenty of sunshine both Wednesday and Thursday as our temperatures remain above normal. And then we'll be at 65 on Friday as clouds start to move into the picture. And those clouds are going to be bringing some rain as we go into the weekend. We have a chance of some light rain, actually, well, significant rain, I think maybe Saturday, maybe some light rain on Sunday. But of course, there's plenty of time to fine-tune that forecast, so we'll keep an eye on it for you. Right now, let's check our traffic and transit this morning, and for that, we're going over to Adrian Watson in the traffic center.
Good morning, Audrey. Thanks very much. Fill them up, not the gas tank, but the roads. Everybody coming back from the holiday, and it's going to be awfully crowded out there. Let's take a look and see what is happening right now a little north of the city. We're doing okay as you try to make your way across the Tappan Zee Bridge and make your way down the New York State Thruway. No problems at all there. So there's your good news. And Connecticut Turnpike, Merritt Parkway, no major issues. Let's go to the cameras where we do have a major issue. This is the Belt Parkway making your way westbound past Kennedy Airport. As you can see, it's fine, but farther west there is an accident at Coney Island Avenue blocking one lane, again westbound Belt at Coney Island Avenue. Now the Staten Island Expressway, checking that out. Everybody doing fine in both directions to and from the Verrazano Bridge. And again, a look at Times Square just to remind you that tonight after 9 o'clock we'll have some major closures in Times Square for a movie shoot. Definitely don't want to be driving around Times Square after 9 o'clock tonight. Hudson River Crossing still barely creeping up to a 5-minute delay at all of them. Alternate side of the street parking rules there in effect. Kate, Maurice, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Adrian.
It's 5:42 on a Monday morning. Coming up, the tests that cannot hide the truth.
The latest round of crash tests taking on minivans. The winners and the losers coming up later.
And a new way to make a fashion statement by going green. Recycle clothes. We're not talking about hand-me-downs, though. We'll be right back.
Good Monday morning to you. A beautiful Monday morning. We're about a half an hour away from the sunrise. It is 5:44. Welcome back to CBS 2 News this morning.
Here's a quick check of entertainment news now. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt are making plans to welcome their new baby in Africa. According to a newspaper in South Africa, Jolie plans to give birth in Namibia and give the child an African name. The baby is expected to arrive sometime this summer. Last year, Jolie adopted a baby girl from Ethiopia. She also has an adopted son from Cambodia.
Metal arm with something.
Yeah, nice shot, Shaq. The latest Scary Movie spoof scares away the competition at the box office. Scary Movie 4 getting #1 this weekend, bringing in $41 million. Ice Age fell to #2, $20 million. The baseball comedy The Benchwarmers slipped to 3rd, bringing in $10 million. Disney animated film The Wild opened #4, taking in $9.6. And rounding out the top 5, Take the Lead with $6.7 million.
This season, the hottest color in fashion is green, as in the eco-friendly designs that are in the spotlight this month. Elle magazine has an entire issue printed on partially recycled paper dedicated to that very topic. Our Linda Lopez got a special look at some of the hottest styles. Take a look.
It was green as far as the eye can see, in every color of the rainbow, from vinyl shoes to woven bags to the softest sleepwear and organic cotton. The grass is definitely greener on the eco-friendly side of fashion.
So it's designs that are more environmentally friendly, whether through material or what?
It's mostly materials. There's a lot of new green materials that are increasing popularity. Organic cotton, bamboo cotton, which is new, sea cell, which is made from seaweed. More and more we're seeing top designers use these amazing new materials.
Top designers like Stella McCartney, a known environmentalist, even stamps her super stylish shoes with a message.
Suitable for vegetarians.
And U2's Bono, with wife and business partner Allie, use organic cotton and incorporate a heartfelt message in their Eden jeans.
We carry the story of the people who make the clothes around with us. But more importantly, look how great they would look on you. How many of these products have made their way to the average consumer? Are they still very hard to find, or are they readily available now?
Not at all. I mean, maybe I'm speaking from a New Yorker's perspective, but these are, first of all, on the internet. Almost every designer has a website, which is terrific. And then also in New York, Calypso, Saks, Barney's. There's green designers in almost every major department store.
And in every conceivable style, too. From hats and bags made of pesticide-free natural fibers from Colombia to yoga wear and organic cotton made in the USA. This elegant evening wear is made from corn silk, and these beautiful bangles are bamboo.
This is totally affordable. This is probably about, I don't know, $35 or so. Oh, these are actually made out of sea cell, which is from seaweed. And
how do you even make something out of seaweed?
That I don't know.
What designers are doing is making it easier to be green by creating classic and cutting-edge styles that look great and make you feel great, just knowing that the fashion you're wearing can have a more environmentally friendly impact.
The cost can be a little bit higher. A normal t-shirt might be $10, whereas an organic one might be $12 or $15. But it's ultimately worth it. It's worth it to the consumer because you're being better to yourself and to the environment. And it's really no different than shopping for organic food.
Linda Lopez, CBS 2 News.
And if you want to learn more about green fashions, the current issue of Elle is out now, and we have a link set up on our website at WCBS-TV.com. Just click on links and numbers.
Nothing like a little seaweed with your clothes, huh?
Exactly. That's a new one for me.
Tell me about it. All right, 5:48 now on a Monday morning. Coming up, the high drama at the Enron trial today. The moment prosecutors have been waiting for in just a moment.
Plus, the minivans that aren't dummies, the best and worst after the latest round of crash tests.
And they're the best team, at least the hottest one in town so far. The Mets get their first true test tonight. A look at that when we come right back in sports.
Carlos Delgado with a 3-run homer.
Good morning and welcome back on this Monday morning. A beautiful shot of the moon. It is 5:50. Welcome into CBS 2 News this morning. I'm Kate Sullivan.
And I'm Maurice Dubois. Let's check in with Deuces Rogers right now. Up early from now on doing sports.
Very early.
Feeling good, too.
I tell you, Mets fans have been teased for many, many years.
Yeah.
This might be the real deal.
I've teased it many times.
You have. If this were a horse race, you could say the Mets are out of the gates early. Yesterday, they beat the Brewers to run their record to 9-2. That's the best start in franchise history. The Easter Bunny played hooky yesterday. No score in the second inning. Xavier Nady, good pickup. A 2-run homer off Ben Sheets. Nady's third. The Mets lead 2-0. The rookie, Brian Bannister, continues to shine. In a bases-loaded jam in the third, he strikes out Prince Fielder, son of Cecil. Then he gets the next batter, Damian Miller, to fly out to left center. Bannister goes 5 innings while giving up just 1 run. He improves to 2-0. Insurance runs off the bat of Carlos Delgado in the 8th inning. A 3-run shot, his 4th. The Mets win 9-3. The Braves visit tonight with Pedro on the mound.
We understand that Atlanta's been on top for a while, and you know, I think we have all the right tools, and we just have to go out there and put it together. And if we play good baseball, you know, good things will happen.
They're the division champions, and those are the guys we have to go through to be where we want to be. So it's always exciting. The fans are going to be pumped up, and we're looking forward to that challenge.
The Yankees playing copycat. They win 2 by the same count of 9-3. Go figure. They beat up on the Minnesota Twins. Joe Torre chatting it up with former Twins manager Tom Kelly. Jason Giambi kickstarts the offense with a rip in the second. 2-run homer. The Yanks lead 2-0. Chen-Ming Wong finally turns in a solid start. 7 innings, 8 strikeouts. Luis Rodriguez caught admiring the scenery. Back to Giambi. This is a moonshot. It might draw rain inside the Metrodome. His second of the game, 4th of the year. Later in the 7th inning, Alex Rodriguez crushes his third, 9-3 the final. The Yankees, who are off today, avoid the sweep.
A lot to me, the players a little younger, they're a little stronger than I am, but it's important just to finish, especially if you're going to have an off day, to enjoy it somewhat with a win. As I say, it was a good team effort. They came out pretty determined and beat a pretty good pitcher.
Albert Pujols has a monster game for the Cards against the Reds. Pujols hits a 2-run homer to tie the game in the 5th inning. In the 7th, Pujols cranks out another one. This one is a solo shot. The Cardinals lead 6-4. Now down 7-6 in the bottom of the 9th. Albert Pujols again. 2-run walk-off homer. Game over. Good night or good morning. 3 homers in 1 game. He has 8 on the year. The Cards take it 8-7. Basketball now. The Knicks played at Detroit yesterday without head coach Larry Brown. He's still MIA after falling ill last week. This game is awful from the opening tip. No joke. Opening tip. Ben Wallace to Rasheed Wallace to Richard Hamilton to Tayshaun Prince plus the foul. The Knicks fall behind 40-18 after 1. They lose 103-97. Also, the Nets beat the Celtics. On the ice, the Devils remain hot, and in the process, they are messing up the Eastern Conference playoff race. It's congested and exciting at the same time. Yesterday, they beat the Flyers. First period, Brian Giunta records his franchise record tying 46th goal of the season. 1-0 Devils. They poured on from there. In the 3rd, up 4-1, Patrick Elias with his 2nd goal of the contest. The Devils win 5-1. That's 10 in a row. So the Devils and Flyers are tied at 99 points, 1 point behind the first-place Rangers. The Rangers control their own destiny. They host Ottawa coming up tomorrow night. And coming up next half hour, we'll show you Barry Bonds and the Giants with some fireworks with the LA Dodgers, a little beanball.
Ooh.
And Kate, allow me to be probably the 69th person in this building today to welcome you aboard.
Thank you so much. Great to be here, Deuces.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Time now for a check of business news. Here's Susan McGinnis with your CBS Money Watch. Hi,
hey,
Susan.
I'm 70th. Welcome aboard, Kate.
Thank you very much,
Hey,
Susan.
good morning, guys. Good morning, Maurice. Stocks could see some gains this morning with a focus on corporate earnings today. On Thursday, that was the last trading day because stocks had a holiday on Friday, up about 7.5. NASDAQ rose 11.5. Companies reporting their earnings today. Watch for Citigroup and Wachovia, and later this week, McDonald's, Johnson & Johnson, and Intel. And another big day in the Enron trial. It is cross-examination day for former CEO Jeffrey Skilling. He has spent 4 days on the stand so far, but only answering questions solicited by his own lawyer in this fraud and conspiracy trial. Prosecutors say Skilling and Enron founder Ken Lay lied to investors and workers about Enron's financial health. And as tax procrastinators are lining up today and tomorrow for New Yorkers, the IRS wants you to file electronically. It says about 67% of returns were filed this way so far this year. The big sticking point is that it does cost more this way because you need to use a tax preparer or buy the software to file electronically. There is a move right now in Congress, though, to get the IRS to accept electronic returns that are filed directly by taxpayers. And the latest winners in minivan crash tests, the Kia Sedona and the Subaru Impreza got the highest marks. The Toyota Prius did well in some front tests and side tests, although side airbags are optional, but it rated only marginal for seat head restraint. Poorly performing the Chevrolet Uplander. That's because of its performance in those side crash tests. And that is Money Watch for now. CBSNews.com has more on all the day's business action. I'll be back within the hour with another report and the latest on a possible strike at Delta.
Okay, thank you so much, Susan.
When we come back in just a moment, we'll have a check on the day's top stories.
Plus, this week marks the centennial of the Great Quake. We'll see how the city by the bay has recovered 100 years later.
And if men thought they had it bad, imagine being a woman dealing with hair loss. This morning, a surgical solution. It's 5:56. CBS 2 News This Morning is back right after this.
Shot to death in the family car. A toddler is killed in an Easter Sunday tragedy.
They went on strike. Now they have to pay the price. A ruling today that could cripple the Transport Workers Union.
And catching a twister on tape, an up-close look at some wild weather. Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Kate Sullivan.
Good to have you with us. I'm Maurice Dubois. Let's get you started up and out the door with some weather. Audrey Puente, good morning.
Good morning, Kate and Maurice. Well, it looks like it's going to be a little bit cooler across the tri-state area as we start off our work week. We had very warm temperatures over the weekend, but those have now moved out, and looks like temperatures are going to be a little bit below normal for this time of year. We'll start off with plenty of sunshine. The sun will be rising at about 6:14 this morning. By midday, we should have readings into the 50s with a forecast high expected of 59 degrees in Central Park. Some clouds will roll in tonight, and your sun will be setting at 7:37. Coming up, I'll have your 5-day forecast. We'll take you right through your work week coming up in just a few minutes. Let's check on this morning's commute over with Adrian Watson in the traffic center. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, Audrey. Well, it's not bad yet, but we do have certain trouble spots, and one of them right now is on the Belt Parkway. So let's take a look at that map. Westbound Belt Parkway accident at Coney Island Avenue. 2 lanes are blocked, so some heavy delays building on that westbound side of the Belt Parkway. If you're making your way into the city at the East River from the Queensboro Bridge all the way down to the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, no problems at all. A quick look outside if you're going inbound on the Gowanus and BQE. Let's take a look at the traffic there. Delays are starting to build from the Prospect to the Hamilton Avenue area, and then as you make your way right here toward the Brooklyn Bridge. A look at the Triborough Bridge right now. The upper East River crossings are doing fine. No problems on the Whitestone or the Throgs Neck bridges. And at the other side, at the other river, minor delays at all of our Hudson River crossings. Alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect. Kate, Maurice?
All right, thanks so much, Adrian. Our top story this morning, a toddler is killed by a stray bullet in the Bronx. Police say 2-year-old David Pacheco Jr. was riding in a minivan with his family on Easter Sunday when the bullet came right into the vehicle. CBS 2's Tamsin Fidel is live in Morris Heights with more. Good morning, Tamsin.
Well, good morning. This is the intersection where it all happened. The van carrying 6 children and a family traveling eastbound here along Tremont Avenue on their way to Easter services when a stray bullet came in through the window and hit the 2-year-old toddler. This morning, the little boy is dead, and police are still looking for the person who pulled the trigger. It was a shot apparently fired in anger on West Tremont Avenue that missed its target and instead hit a passing minivan full of children on their way to Easter services. One of those children, a 2-year-old toddler strapped in a car seat, wound up being the innocent victim.
The baby was shot on the side, but it looked like he had 2 gunshot wounds, but it's actually one because it went right through. It was in and out. Bullet went right through me.
The baby wasn't moving. The baby looked like a rag doll in her hand.
Angelo Cruz, who heard the mother's frantic screams, gave 2-year-old David Pacheco CPR, trying everything he could to save the child's life.
I was breathing for him en route to the hospital. Halfway there, the baby let out like a yarn, he stretched out, so he was still breathing, and he was gurgling. When we got into the hospital, the baby was breathing at the hospital, but all efforts failed. The baby did die at the hospital, you know.
Sorry.
So, yeah. But, you know, we tried the best we could, you know.
The victim's mother and aunt were in the car with 5 other children when it happened.
Make sure you get the who did it to my son.
I just hope that whoever done this is brought to justice. I really hope they are brought to justice because, you know, that's a 2-year-old child. You know, what can I say? I mean, a 2-year-old child.
All right, and these flyers are up all throughout this neighborhood right now. Police looking for any help in this case they can get. If you have some information you think could help detectives, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-577-TIPS. The number, once again, 1-800-577-TIPS. We're live in Morris Heights this morning. I'm Tamsin Fidel, CBS 2 News.
Tamsin, thank you. Other news today, a Verona man will be arraigned on murder charges in connection with the brutal slaying of a Glen Ridge woman. 57-year-old Herbert Masenbacher was arrested late last month at his son's home in Florida. Investigators say DNA evidence links Masenbacher to the murder of 58-year-old Joan Galligan. Galligan's body was discovered inside her apartment in Glen Ridge on December 8th. She had been strangled and bludgeoned, a bag placed over her head. Galligan and Masenbacher had worked together for several years at Peabody Nixon, a Manhattan law firm. A funeral will be held today on Staten Island for the retired Port Authority police officer allegedly killed by a retired NYPD officer. Family and friends gathered over the weekend to remember Stephen Vitale at a wake in Eltingville. This morning, they'll come together for his memorial service at Our Lady Star of the Sea. Police say 46-year-old Alan Lau shot and killed Vitale during an apparent road rage incident last Monday in Heartland Village. Lau is charged with murder.
It is decision day for transit workers who went on strike in December, and that decision could cost their union millions of dollars. CBS 2's Tanya Rivero is live in downtown Brooklyn with details. Tanya.
Good morning, Kate. It's a multi-million-dollar fine that TWU President Roger Toussaint says could cripple the union. Today, here in Brooklyn Supreme Court, the union will find out exactly how much an illegal strike costs. The union for bus drivers and subway operators faces a $3 million fine, and today Justice Theodore Jones is expected to hand down the actual bill. The judge is also being asked by state lawyers to suspend the union's ability to automatically collect dues. At a TWU rally last week, President Roger Toussaint called that possibility far more serious than the jail sentence he was issued. A Brooklyn judge ordered Toussaint to spend 10 days behind bars for calling the illegal three-day transit strike last December. He was also fined $1,000 for criminal contempt. Toussaint is expected to begin serving his 10-day jail sentence next week. He had 30 days to appeal, but the union leader said over the weekend he plans to turn himself in a week from today. Al Sharpton and other TWU supporters have vowed to hold a demonstration for each day Toussaint is behind bars. We're live in downtown Brooklyn this morning. Tanya Rivero, CBS 2 News. Kate Maurice, back to you.
Tanya, thank you. Meanwhile, the union representing 28,000 workers in city apartment buildings is gearing up for a possible strike this week. The union includes doormen, elevator operators, handymen, porters, and superintendents. Union leaders say there's been virtually no progress at the bargaining table despite weeks of talks, and talks are continuing. But many building owners and managers are rushing to find replacement workers. The strike deadline, 12:01 Friday morning.
Charges are expected to be filed today against two Duke University lacrosse players in connection with the alleged rape of an exotic dancer. Defense lawyers showed CBS News 23 time-stamped photos taken at the house the night the dancer claims the attack took place. They claim the pictures indicate the woman arrived at the party already bruised and cut. Last week, attorneys representing several players said DNA tests showed no link between the alleged victim and the 46 players tested. Severe weather strikes Illinois. Take a look at this funnel cloud caught on videotape. An amateur photographer captured it as the twister touched down on an empty farm field. The funnel cloud kicked up some debris, but nobody was hurt. Hail the size of golf balls was also reported throughout the state. You ever seen a twister?
And never in person, no.
I don't want to.
No, I don't either.
That is some scary stuff.
Seriously. Meanwhile, here at home, absolutely gorgeous weekend. It looks like we're going to have a pretty good-looking week as well. Audrey joins us with a look at the forecast.
That's right, Kate. We are going to see good weather throughout the work week. Temperatures, though, a little cool this morning. We're starting off very chilly north and west of the city, and we will get some moderation as we go into the middle part of the week, and everyone will be happy by then, I'm sure. Right now, we're looking live outside. The sun is rising overhead at Jamaica Bay, and we are picking up a few clouds around the region, but we're calling it mostly clear right now at this hour. Currently in Central Park, we're at 48 degrees, and we do have a light north wind coming in at about 8 miles per hour, so it's pretty quiet out there overall. But as we move on to temperatures, looks like today, normally our high should be at about 61 degrees, normal low about 44. Your sun will be rising shortly, and it'll be setting at about 7:37 later on tonight. We'll have plenty of sunshine today, but temperatures will be a little bit cooler than we saw over the weekend. We were well above average, and today we're going to struggle to make it to just that average number. Mostly we'll have highs in the mid to upper 50s throughout the region. It'll stay dry through the next 5 days, but we are expecting a warming trend by the middle part of the week, and that's when we'll see temperatures above normal again throughout the region. Chilly to the north and west. Sparta coming in at the freezing mark right now. It's cold in Poughkeepsie with a temperature of 34. Bring a jacket out in Somerville. 36 is your current reading there, and 45 degrees is the current reading in Belmar. We're in the 40s across Long Island, and even in Connecticut, where Bridgeport is checking in with 45 degrees. Nice and dry over the northeast. A few clouds streaming in through the picture, but overall we're going to stay nice and quiet today with plenty of sunshine. We do have some moisture to our south, but that's where it's going to stay. We have a system working through the Ohio Valley this morning that's going to dive down into the mid-Atlantic, and they will get the wet weather. We'll stay dry here in the northeast. Looking good for today, except for a northerly wind flow coming in. That's what's going to keep temperatures down today to a little bit below average for this time of year. It's also going to usher in a few clouds to our west, or rather to our east. Eastern Connecticut, Long Island will probably get the cloud cover first, and then overnight tonight, I think everyone will be mostly cloudy. Now tomorrow, the clouds will linger in the early morning hour, but then they should be moving out. High pressure comes in from the west, and that's going to keep us nice and dry and sunny for our Tuesday. A little bit breezier tomorrow, though, so that high of 59 tomorrow will probably feel a little bit cooler with a northerly wind flow. Here's a look at our jet stream. Cool wind pocket right here in the northeast. High pressure though coming in from the southwest will bring in some warmer air by the middle part of the week, and that's when we'll have highs moving closer to 70, which is above average for this time of year. Today's high will make it to 59 degrees in Central Park, and then tonight mostly cloudy and cool with a low of 45 in the city. We'll be in the 30s once again far north and west. Tomorrow 59 again, but it'll be a breezier day tomorrow, so it will feel a little bit cooler. Probably feel more like 50 degrees on Tuesday. And looking ahead at the next 5 days, we warm up on Wednesday to the 60s with a high of 68 in Central Park. We'll have plenty of sunshine both Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday's high will be about 70 degrees, probably a few degrees warmer than that farther north and west. And then on Friday, we'll have a high of 65 with a few clouds moving in. And with those clouds, we're going to get some rain. It should be coming in, I think, probably on Saturday. Maybe some light rain on Sunday, too. But we'll keep an eye on it for you. But it looks good for the rest of the week, so enjoy it. Let's see how good it looks on the roadways this morning. Let's head over to Adrian Watson, who's in the traffic center. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, Audrey. Everybody coming back to work today for the holidays, so going to be a little crowded later on this morning. Right now, not terrible. Well, let's take a look at the maps. We do have one problem spot that we have just cleared. Belt Parkway westbound at Coney Island Avenue. 2 lanes were blocked by an accident. That accident is now gone. However, you will have some leftover residual delays on the westbound side. As you try to make your way westbound from Long Island, Northern States, Southern States, Sunrise Highway, no major problems right now. Delays just starting to build through your usual areas. A look outside right now at the New Jersey Turnpike, of course, one of the most heavily traveled roads during the holiday. We had multi-mile double-digit delays last week. Today it'll be a little heavier as folks return northbound, but right now as we make our way past Newark Airport, no major problems. The Van Wyck Expressway checking out just fine as you make your way southbound out of the Kew Gardens interchange, and as you make your way into the tolls at the George Washington Bridge. So far, just minor delays there. Rest of the Hudson River crossings are checking in fine, less than 5 minutes. Not the Lincoln Tunnel, maybe creeping up to 5 minutes right now. Holland, less than 5, no problems at the Tappan Zee Bridge. Alternate side is in effect. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Adrian.
Still to come on a Monday morning, 100 years later, San Francisco marking the anniversary of one of the worst natural disasters in its history.
And local leaders are saying the plan for a new Met Stadium is striking out. We'll tell you why.
And a new surgical procedure is literally a hair-raising experience for women dealing with baldness.
And a reminder, it's tax time, and you've had some extra time because the 15th was on a Saturday. But folks in New York actually get one more day because their returns are processed in Massachusetts, where today is Patriots Day, a state holiday. So New Yorkers, you have until tomorrow. But if you live in New Jersey or Connecticut, your filing deadline is still today.
Here's a look at stories making news right now. A small plane crashes at the Gainesville Regional Airport in Florida, killing 3 people on board. Police say the aircraft ran into a parked SUV yesterday, sending the vehicle through a terminal wall. No one inside the terminal was hurt. The FAA is investigating. Officials in Canada confirm a case of mad cow disease has been found on a farm in British Columbia. It's the country's 5th case of mad cow since May of 2003. Canadian officials say no part of the cow made its way to any products consumed by humans or animals. And Israelis are trying to wake the former Prime Minister Ariel Sharon. Drummers have gathered outside of Jerusalem's Hadassah Hospital to bring healing energy to the 78-year-old. Sharon has been in a coma since suffering a stroke on January 4th.
A Queens councilman is accusing the Mets of failing to support the community over the past 30 years, the way other teams do elsewhere. The new Met Stadium is triggering the criticism. Councilman Hiram Montserrat says he and other officials won't support the stadium unless the Amazons do something in return for surrounding neighborhoods. Among other things, he wants 25% of the jobs and contracts to go to people who live in Queens and businesses that operate from the borough. A march to the current stadium is planned for tomorrow to call attention to the councilman's demands.
If you think allergy season this year is a lot worse than last year, you got it right. That's according to the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America. The foundation is out with its rankings of the worst places to live if you have allergies, and this year, Hartford is #1, followed by Greenville, South Carolina, Boston, Detroit, and Orlando. New York City, by the way, came in at 11. Last year, it was way down at 88.
It is starting to green up all over the city. Beautiful weather this weekend and this week. Let's get a look at the forecast with Audrey Fuente. Hi, Audrey.
Hi, Kate and Maurice. It also looks good if you'll be traveling around the Northeast today. We're going to take a look at those maps right now. We're expecting plenty of sunshine from Boston right through New York City today. Newburgh will have a high of 56 degrees. We'll have sunshine in Norwalk today with a high of 56 there as well. 59 will be the high number in Bushwick, and Princeton looking great today. Plenty of sunshine with a high of 64 degrees expected later this afternoon. We do have some wet weather moving through the Ohio Valley right now. It'll be moving into the mid-Atlantic. We should stay dry here in the tri-state area. But if you're planning to travel to places like Richmond as well as into Charlotte, you may have some rain delays. You might want to check with your aircraft carrier. But middle of the nation looks pretty good, nice and dry. Temperatures will be above normal there. And out towards the west, we have some snow in the Rockies and some rain moving onshore into parts of California. San Francisco will have a high of 59 degrees today. Warm in Phoenix with a high of 85. Hot in the south, 93 degrees is expected in Houston today. St. Louis will have sunshine with a temperature of 70 degrees. Atlanta will come in very warm with a high of 85. And Washington, D.C. will get some rain later today with a high of 59 degrees. Boston will get some clouds rolling in late. Expect a high of 55 degrees there. 59 will be the high number in Central Park today, a little cooler than we saw over the weekend. And then tomorrow, it will also have a high of 59, but more breezes flowing through the region will make things feel a little bit cooler than that for Tuesday. Wednesday, more sunshine. That'll help warm things up to 68 degrees. And on Thursday, we'll have a high of 70. We'll be back into the 60s on Friday. Clouds roll in by then, and then we have a chance of showers over the weekend. Let's check out this morning's commute with Adrian Watson over in the traffic center.
All right, Audrey. Well, we had a tough time this morning in the Bronx. Let's check back in and see how we're doing for anyone traveling through the Bronx. Westbound Cross Bronx Expressway, not too bad, making your way to the bridge. New England Thruway and the Bruckner, nothing terrible right now, so that is very good news. Crossing the Harlem River, no problems at this time. Let's take a look at the Belt Parkway camera by Kennedy Airport. We do have some delays on the Belt Sunrise Highway to Springfield Boulevard, and no problems by the Belt here. Accident has been cleared at Coney Island Avenue, so there's your good news. Verrazano Bridge right now making your way in. Pretty sunrise this morning. No problems at the bridge, so that is good news for you as well. Hudson River crossings barely starting to creep up. Minor delays at the George Washington Bridge, about a 5-minute wait at the Lincoln Tunnel. Minor delays at the Holland, and alternate side parking rules are in effect. Maurice, Kate?
All right, thanks so much, Adrian. Pretty morning.
You got that right. Let's do some sports here. Deuce is here. That would be Deuce on 2.
On 2?
Yes. How about those Mets, huh? I never thought I'd say that, but...
You want to get on the bandwagon?
No.
There's plenty of room for you, Maurice.
I'd hurt myself.
Kate, new in town?
New schedule?
Mets. You want to be with the Mets?
Yankees 26 World Championships.
I've already heard it.
Going to 27.
Can't argue with that. You're right about that. All right, the Mets have begun the season 9-2, and that's the best start in franchise history. Mets fans can be heard all over town knocking on wood. The latest victory coming on Easter Sunday over the Brewers. No score in the second inning. Xavier Nady, he goes deep, 2-run homer. That's his 3rd of the year. The Mets lead 2-0. Brian Bannister on the mound. He continues to shine. Bases loaded, jam in the 3rd. He strikes out Prince Fielder. Then he gets the next batter, Damian Miller, to fly out. Bannister goes 5 innings while giving up just 1 run. He improves to 2-0. Insurance runs come courtesy of Carlos Delgado in the 8th inning. Waits on the curveball and knocks it out of the park. A 3-run homer, his 4th. The Mets win 9-3. The Atlanta Braves visit tonight. Pedro Martinez will be on the mound.
We understand that Atlanta's been on top for a while, and you know, I think we have all the right tools, and we just have to go out there and put it together. And if we play good baseball, you know, good things will happen.
They're the division champions, and those are the guys we have to go through to be where we want to be. So it's always exciting. The fans are going to be pumped up, and we're looking forward to that challenge.
The Yankees get back to the break-even point. They're 6-6 following a homer-filled win over the Twins yesterday. Joe Torre hanging out with former Twins manager Tom Kelly. Jason Giambi, look at this one. A 2-run homer. The Yankees lead 2-0. More on Giambi in the 2nd. Chen-Ming Wong finally turns in a solid start. 7 innings, 8 strikeouts. He gets Luis Rodriguez there. All right, back to Giambi. Will you take a look at this one? That ball's way out. The cameraman loses it. His 2nd of the game, 4th of the year. Later on in the 7th inning, A-Rod crushes his 3rd home run of the year. 9-3 the final. The Yankees are off today. They avoid the sweep.
It's a lot to me, you know, the players a little younger, they're a little stronger than I am, but, you know, it's important just to finish, especially if you're going to have an off day, to, you know, to enjoy it somewhat with a win. As I say, it was a good team effort. They came out pretty determined and, you know, beat a pretty good pitcher.
Giants visiting the Dodgers. Barry Bonds escorted by security. He's not well liked in L.A. Brad Hennessy plunks Jeff Kent in the head in the 7th. It was a changeup, but that'll still leave a mark. He leaves the game. The following inning, Bonds is hit by Tim Hamulak. Hamulak is immediately tossed for his own protection, we assume. San Fran 2, L.A. nothing. On the hardwood, the Knicks lost to the Pistons. Once again, Larry Brown missed the game as he recovers from a stomach ailment. Nets and Celtics. This boy here is doing what I'll be doing at about 7 o'clock this morning. Zoran Planic getting some playing time. He drills a key fourth quarter triple. The Nets win this game 95-93. The Rangers now have to worry about the Flyers and the Devils. Last night the Devils beat Philly. Both those teams are just a point behind the Rangers in the East with one game to play. First period, Brian Giunta records his franchise record tying 46th goal of the season. 1-0 Devils. They poured on from there in the third, up 4-1. Patrick Elias with his second goal of the game. The Devils win 5-1. That's 10 in a row. Once again, the Devils and Flyers just a point behind the Rangers. The Devils have Montreal. The Flyers have the Islanders coming up. And while the Rangers will take on Ottawa, it's all coming down to the final game of the season that's coming up tomorrow. It's going to be exciting.
Getting good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Deuce. Still to come, a break in the case. Nearly 1 year since she disappeared, there is an arrest in Aruba, but will it lead to finally finding the missing teen?
And it's being called a celebration of recovery. San Francisco looks back at 100 years since the Great Quake of 1906.
Today, veterinarians will examine the body of a black bear believed to have killed a 6-year-old girl in Tennessee. Wildlife officials captured the bear yesterday. Police say the little girl died when a nearly 400-pound black bear attacked her family while they were visiting Cherokee National Forest. Her mother is in critical condition. Her 2-year-old brother is in fair condition. Authorities say they caught the bear in the same trap where they found paw prints.
We had immediate activity on that trap nearly as soon as we set it, and then the next day today we catch a bear that we think is the right size.
The bear has been euthanized and will be analyzed to determine if it's the same bear that attacked the family.
In San Francisco, a celebration commemorating the 100th anniversary of the earthquake of 1906. Before the Great Quake, San Francisco was the capital of Western commerce and culture. But all that changed with 40 seconds of violent shaking on April 18th, 1906. Chrissy Martinson was 8 years old that day, and now, 100 years later, she remembers seeing her city reduced to ruins.
With the house shaking, the windows rattling, the doors rattling, and the house kind of creaking, you know. It was scary.
Sure was. When the earthquake didn't destroy things, fire did. 28,000 buildings were lost, leaving 3,000 people dead, another 250,000 homeless. The theme of this year's celebration isn't the destruction the quake left behind, but the city's recovery. Scientists are also using the occasion to warn San Franciscans that it can happen again. 6:27 on a Monday morning. Still to come here. A stray bullet turns the holiday to heartache. Now police are looking for the gunman who took a young life.
Plus, dozens of car owners woke up yesterday with an unpleasant surprise. Now one store owner is lending a helping hand.
And a surgical solution for hair loss and women. In this morning's Health Watch, Dr. David Marks shows us a success story. We'll be right back.
You are looking at live pictures of a car fire in Jersey City. Nicole O'Brien in Chapter 2 with details. Hi, Nicole.
Good morning, Kate. Yep, this is Kennedy Boulevard that we're looking at in Jersey City, right near Bergen Avenue. Everything under control now, but just a few minutes ago when we arrived on the scene, you can see what it looked like as we can go to some tape. That car fully engulfed. And unfortunately, we don't know if anyone was in the car or not, if this resulted from an accident. We'll find out more about that later on. But at least the firefighters, as we go back to a live scene, you can see that they are just about getting that under control. Actually, we're seeing a few more flames shooting out right now as we go back to these live shots. But I'm sure they'll have that under control momentarily. So we're live over Jersey City. We'll go back to you guys in the studio.
Nicole O'Brien live in Chapter 2 for us. Thank you.
All right, coming up on 6:31, let's do some weather. 48 degrees. We've lost a few, Audrey. What happened?
Well, things got a little bit cooler, and we are going to stay cool, looks like, through the afternoon, Maurice. Temperatures a little bit below average for this time of year. And it looks like the warm weather that we had over the weekend has left us temporarily. We'll be coming back by midweek, I think. Sunshine to start off our day today. We'll see plenty of it through the afternoon. A few clouds will roll in tonight, but it should stay dry. We're expecting highs mostly in the mid to upper 50s throughout the region. Your sun will be setting at 7:37 tonight. The days are definitely getting longer, and we're going to take you right through the rest of your work week and your full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Let's check this morning's commute. Let's go over to Adrian Watson, who's in the traffic center. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, Audrey. Everybody coming back to work today. It's going to get awfully crowded. We haven't seen all of that crowd yet, but they are starting to creep into the city. Let's take a look right now at the maps. We do have a problem north of the city in Dutchess County. An accident on Route 52 at Cedar Hill Road in Fishkill. You may want to try Route 84 as your alternate. No problems at the Newburgh Beacon Bridge or the Tappan Zee Bridge. If you're making your way in from western New Jersey, a lot of people go west for the holidays. Not yet a terrible delay on Route 80, but expect those delays as you make your way through Morris County. A look outside right now at Times Square. Again tonight we will have full closures in Times Square from 9 o'clock tonight till 6 o'clock tomorrow morning for a movie shoot, and that will be going on all week long. The Triborough Bridge right now, not too bad. Bronx, Manhattan bound. Queens bound a little bit heavy, but everybody is moving. At the Hudson River crossings, George Washington Bridge right now about a 15-minute delay. Of course, the express approach is always your worst. Lincoln Tunnel and Holland about 5 to 10 minutes. Alternate side is in effect. Kate, Maurice, back to you.
Thank you, Adrian. Top story this Monday morning. Tragedy strikes a family on Easter Sunday. Their toddler shot and killed by a stray bullet in the Bronx. Police say 2-year-old David Pacheco Jr. was riding in his minivan with his family when the bullet came right into the vehicle. CBS 2's Tamsen Fidel live in Morris Heights now with more. Tamsen, good morning.
Maurice, good morning. I'm standing in the intersection where this happened around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The family was in the van along with 6 children when a bullet came in through the window, hitting the 2-year-old toddler. This morning, that little boy is dead, and the person who pulled the trigger is still out there. It was a shot apparently fired in anger on West Tremont Avenue that missed its target and instead hit a passing minivan full of children on their way to Easter services. One of those children, a 2-year-old toddler strapped in a car seat, wound up being the innocent victim.
The baby was shot on the side, but it looked like he had 2 gunshot wounds, but it's actually one because it went right through. It was in and out. Bullet went right through me.
The baby wasn't moving. The baby looked like a rag doll in her hand.
Angelo Cruz, who heard the mother's frantic screams, gave 2-year-old David Pacheco CPR, trying everything he could to save the child's life.
I was breathing for him en route to the hospital. Halfway there, the baby let out like a yarn, he stretched out, so he was still breathing, and he was gurgling. When we got into the hospital, the baby was breathing at the hospital, but all efforts failed. The baby did die at the hospital, you know.
Sorry.
So yeah. But you know, we tried the best we could, you know.
The victim's mother and aunt were in the car with 5 other children when it happened.
Make sure you get the person did it to my son.
I just hope that whoever done this is brought to justice. I really hope I'll bring the justice because, you know, that's a 2-year-old child. You know, what can I say? I mean, a 2-year-old child.
Okay, flyers with these words, "Help us help you," have been put out by police this morning in this area. A $2,000 reward is being offered for any information leading to an arrest. If you have something you think could help detectives, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number, 1-800-577-TIPS. The number, once again, 1-800-577-TIPS. We're live in Morris Heights this morning. I'm Tamsen Fidel, CBS 2 News.
Tamsen, thank you. Difficult story. And to see more of our interview with the Good Samaritan who desperately tried to save the toddler's life, you can go to our website. That's WCBS-TV.com.
Taking a look at our top stories in the Duke University rape case, defense lawyers showed CBS News time-stamped photos taken the night the attack allegedly took place. Attorneys say the pictures prove the exotic dancer who claimed she was attacked arrived at the party bruised and cut. Still, they expect charges to be filed against 2 Duke students today. And a funeral will be held today for retired NYPD officer Stephen Vitale. He was shot during an apparent road rage incident last Monday. And a judge decides today how large the fine will be against the Transport Workers Local 100 for the illegal walkout in December. CBS 2's Tanya Rivero is live in downtown Brooklyn with details. Hi, Tanya.
Good morning, Kate. Just how much does an illegal 3-day transit strike cost? Well, today here in Brooklyn Supreme Court, the Transport Workers Union may find out that it costs more than they bargained for. The union for bus drivers and subway operators faces a $3 million fine. And today, a Brooklyn judge is expected to hand down the actual bill. TWU President Roger Toussaint says that kind of money could cripple the union and called the fine far more serious than the 10-day jail sentence he was issued for calling the illegal 3-day transit strike last December. Toussaint is expected to begin his 10-day jail sentence next week. He had 30 days to appeal, but the union leader says he plans to turn himself in a week from today. We're live in downtown Brooklyn this morning. Tanya Rivero, CBS 2 News. Kate, Maurice, back to you.
Okay, Tanya, thank you very much. The war of words continues this morning over Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld. Several retired generals are calling for his resignation, but the Pentagon is coming to his defense. CBS 2's Susan Roberts live in Washington with the story for us. Susan, good morning.
Maurice, good morning to you. Still, it looks like Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld is not going anywhere, at least for now. A long list of politicians is rushing to his aid, most notably the president.
Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld has Republicans and the Pentagon rallying to his defense in the wake of calls for his resignation.
We gave him our best military advice, and I think and that's what we're obligated to do. If we don't do that, we should be shot.
Former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Richard Myers, went to bat for Rumsfeld this weekend after a half a dozen other retired generals called for him to step down. Some said they believed Iraq war policies were flawed, but intimidation by Rumsfeld kept them quiet.
Then you have to believe everybody in the chain of command is intimidated. Well, I don't believe that.
President Bush reaffirmed his confidence in the defense secretary with a statement from Camp David. Meanwhile, the Pentagon circulated a memo meant to counter calls for his resignation. It said U.S. senior military leaders are involved to an unprecedented degree in every decision-making process in the Department of Defense, and that Secretary Rumsfeld created new decision-making bodies. Democrats are not satisfied and have been pouring on more criticism.
This reaches a new level, I believe, of not willing to admit mistakes, not willing to change a course policy that is just not working.
With the president's support, Rumsfeld stays put, and observers say any change now would be like the White House admitting that its Iraq war strategy was a failure. Live in Washington, I'm Susan Roberts, CBS 2 News this morning. Kate, back to you.
Thank you, Susan. Investigators in the Natalie Holloway case are trying to find the connection between the latest suspect in custody and the missing Alabama teenager. Police in Aruba have arrested a new suspect, 19-year-old Jeffrey Van Krumvoort, whose sister is a police trainee. No other details have been released. Holloway was last seen on May 30th of last year, leaving a bar with 3 men. Those men were arrested but never charged due to lack of evidence.
On Long Island, dozens of people woke up Sunday morning, Easter Sunday, only to find flat tires in their driveways. Happened in Lindenhurst. The tires on 24 cars were punctured, most likely by an ice pick. Police believe the damage was done sometime after 6 o'clock Saturday night.
That's it right there. All the tire, every tire is like that.
You wake up in the morning and you find your tires are slashed, you know. They only got one on my truck, the front one up here. Yeah. My wife's car, they got 2.
Despite all that, fortunately, though, the owner of a local tire repair shop is offering his support to the victims by repairing the damaged tires free of charge. And 7 high school students in Parsippany will begin serving 5-day school suspensions today. Officials say the students put what they call vulgarities and photos of classmates and teachers on MySpace web accounts. A teacher surfing the net found one of the MySpace sites a couple weeks ago. All 7 students, including 18-year-old Miloš Zubel, have admitted their involvement. The interim superintendent says the issue is using photos of students and staff without their permission and not one of free speech.
Good-looking day ahead. Let's get you caught up on your work week forecast with Audrey Puente. Hi, Audrey.
Good morning, Kate and Maurice. We are starting off nice this morning throughout the tri-state area, but it is a bit cooler than we saw over the weekend. We had above normal readings throughout our Saturday and Sunday, but today we're going to start off a little bit below normal, unfortunately, for our work week. We're looking live out there, though, at the city of Manhattan. You can see Central Park there on the left, and things look great out there. We have a beautiful sunrise coming up ahead, a few clouds through the area, but overall, I think we're going to call it mostly clear this morning. That's a live look with a chopper 2. Looking good out there. Plenty of sunshine. Mostly clear right now. 48 degrees in Central Park, so a little cooler than we have seen over the last couple of mornings. We have a north wind coming in relatively light. It's about 8 miles per hour. Normally our high should be about 61. I think we'll be a few degrees shy of that today. Your sun will be setting at about 7:37 tonight as those days get nice and long. We'll have plenty of sunshine today, but we'll have cooler temperatures. It should stay dry for the next several days, and we are going to see temperatures slowly moderate, and by midweek we'll have numbers above normal for this time of year. We're starting off cool, though, in parts of the region. 42 right now in Mott Haven. The Upper West Side is coming in with 48 degrees. We're at 46 in Kensington, 46 in Woodside, and New Dorp is checking in with 45 degrees right now. Still cooler, though, the farther north and west you go. Patcong is coming in with 35 degrees. We're at the freezing mark in Middletown, but we're in the 40s across Long Island and 40s across parts of Connecticut, too, this morning. Plenty of sunshine throughout the northeast. A few clouds streaming in now, moving into central parts of New Jersey. We do have some rain showers to our south, but I think that's where they're going to stay. We'll be dry today. We do have an area of low pressure just to our west, bringing some wet weather into the Ohio Valley. It'll be diving down into the mid-Atlantic. That's who's going to get the wet weather. We're going to stay nice and dry here in the tri-state area, and we'll have plenty of sunshine throughout the day today. We do have a cool wind flow, though, coming in from the north and the northeast, so that's what's going to keep temperatures a bit below normal for today. And we'll see some clouds working in, I think, later on as we go into the evening. And tomorrow morning, we'll still start off with a few clouds left over, but the sun will come through. High pressure is going to come in from the west. That'll help dry things out, at least as far as cloud cover is concerned. We'll see plenty of sunshine for tomorrow. Temperature readings will be the same as today, but a northwest wind or northern wind flow will keep things a bit breezy, and that's going to make temperatures feel more like the low 50s throughout the region for your Tuesday. The cooler air, though, will begin to move out to the northeast as we go into the middle part of the week, and the jet stream is going to allow some warmer air to work in from the southwest, and that's when we're going to see numbers above average for this time of year starting on Wednesday. Today's high will make it to 59 degrees in Central Park, and tonight we'll drop back to 45 in the city with 30s inland. Tomorrow will be at 59 again, but it'll feel cooler because we'll have more breezy conditions coming in. And then a look ahead at the next 5 days. It looks good on Wednesday. Plenty of sunshine with a high of 68 degrees. We'll make it to 70 on Thursday, and then on Friday we'll get a few clouds in here with a high of 65, and then Saturday and Sunday look to be a little bit wet. Looks like we'll get some rain in here, unfortunately, as we go into the weekend. Let's see how we're looking on the roadways this morning. For that, we're going to head over to Adrian Watson in the traffic center.
Hello, Audrey. Well, we had some earlier problems in the Bronx. We cleaned them. Let's go back to the Bronx and see how we're doing right now. Westbound side of the Cross Bronx Expressway. We've got some delays building from the Bronx River Parkway to 3rd Avenue. We got a brand new accident in New Jersey, westbound side of Route 3 at Bloomfield Avenue. That's right before you get to the Parkway, so expect delays there. And if you are trying to make your way on the Belt Parkway, let's talk about what is happening on the Belt Parkway. Some delays westbound Sunrise Highway to Springfield Boulevard. Here by Kennedy Airport, it's not bad at all. The Grand Central Parkway right now, let's take a look at that by LaGuardia Airport. Not a problem at all. Good alternate to the LIE. The LIE westbound has delays from Casino Boulevard to Woodhaven Boulevard. And a look at the tolls at the George Washington Bridge. Inbound up to 20 to 25 minutes from your express approaches, which are always the worst. Better from the rest of them. Lincoln Tunnel, about a 5 to 10 minute delay. Same story at the Holland. Alternate side of the street parking rules there in effect. Kate and Maurice, back to you.
Okay, Adrian, thank you.
Still to come, the weekend box office was anything but scary for the #1 movie in the country.
And solutions to hair loss for women. This morning's Health Watch is straight ahead.
Good morning and welcome back on this Monday morning. You're looking at a live shot of Rutherford, New Jersey. Beautiful morning. Welcome back to CBS 2 News. Men aren't the only ones who suffer from baldness. Hair loss affects an estimated 30 million women in America. Dr. Marks has the story of a woman who finally decided to fix an embarrassing problem. Take a look.
We know that men can go bald. They can deal with it. I mean, that's fine. But for a woman to start going bald, that's a no-no.
Muniratu Al-Hassan, a 42-year-old nurse from New Jersey, says she never thought it would happen to her. Just a few months ago, she looked like this.
Maybe around the age of 35, I realized the sides of the hair was becoming thin, and I was losing hair. I could not look at the mirror too often because it was not a very nice sight. I tried everything. Talk about Rogaine, all other products on the market, I tried them. Nothing worked.
Muniratu decided to try hair transplant surgery.
So it's been 7 months?
Yeah, almost
That's unbelievable.
8. Yeah.
Look at that.
Dr. John Frank is a hair transplant surgeon at Medical Hair Restoration in Manhattan. He describes the surgery, which starts with removing hair follicles from a donor area, which is later closed using stitches.
I frequently tell people this is like moving a tree from one part of your garden to another. This area in the back was perfect. It was very thick. It had no hair loss. We made little openings and then inserted the grafts. And as we can see, after the grafts were placed, it took several weeks and a few months for them to grow, but now at 7 months, it's totally natural and it just blends in. And it's almost imperceptible, the fact that you had hair loss there.
Muniratu's surgery lasted 5 hours and involved almost 2,000 individual transplants. It cost about $6,000.
I really did not expect that it was going to be this good. You know, I just wanted a little something to cover the site. It's more than my expectation right now. That's why I'm too excited.
Muniratu saw baby hairs growing just 6 weeks after surgery, but it normally takes up to 6 months. Dr. Frank says the cause of her hair loss is fairly common.
If you've grown up braiding your hair, the perpetual traction on the roots on the follicle can damage them. And so over time, they have what's called traction alopecia.
Some other causes of hair loss in women include medical conditions like low iron, lupus, and low thyroid, common in women. Also stress, weight loss, birth control, and menopause.
It's very difficult because it's not something that you talk about. You don't share with your neighbors. You may be wearing a wig. You may be styling. Sometimes you may be desperate. There are solutions.
Not every woman is a good hair transplant candidate, and there are other potential treatments, from medication to topical products. For more information about hair loss, just log on to our website, WCBS-TV.com, and click on links and numbers. Dr. David Marks, CBS 2 News This Morning.
It is 6:50 on a Monday morning. Let's do entertainment news. Real quick check here. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt making plans to welcome their new baby in Africa.
According to a newspaper in South Africa, Jolie plans to give birth in Namibia and give the child an African name. The baby is expected to arrive sometime this summer. Last year, Jolie adopted a baby girl from Ethiopia. She has also adopted a son from Cambodia.
Hit the metal arm with something.
Nice shot, Shaq. The fourth installment of the Scary Movie franchise really did scare away the competition at the box office over the weekend. Scary Movie 4, #1 this weekend, bringing in $41 million. Ice Age fell to #2, $20 million there. The baseball comedy The Benchwarmers, #3 with 10. The Disney animated film The Wild, opening #4, taking $9.6 million. And rounding out the top 5, Take the Lead with $6.7.
And we will be right back with a final check on weather and traffic. Stay with us.
6:53, back up to 52 degrees on a very nice looking start to your work week and this Monday morning. Welcome back, everyone.
It is a beautiful day, and we want to check today's Money Watch report with Susan McGinnis. Hi, Susan.
Hey, good morning again, guys. Wall Street's back in business this morning. The markets were closed on Friday for Good Friday. On Thursday, the Dow was up 7.5 points. The NASDAQ rose 11.5. Here are some companies we're watching today because they're reporting their earnings: Citigroup and Wachovia. It's also a big week for inflation numbers. Retail and wholesale inflation are both coming out this week. Check out oil prices. They topped $69 a barrel Friday and hit 70 in Asian trading this morning. It's on worries over Iran's nuclear plans and some supply disruptions in Nigeria. In the Enron trial, it's cross-examination day for former CEO Jeffrey Skilling. He spent 4 days on the stand already. So far, though, he's only answered questions that were volleyed by his own lawyer. Prosecutors say Skilling and Enron founder Ken Lay lied to investors and employees about Enron's financial health. Delta and its pilots union have reached a tentative deal on a 4-year contract that will avert a strike, at least for now. Pilots are said to have agreed to a 14% pay cut. And the latest winners in minivan crash tests, the Kia Sedona and the Subaru Impreza. The Toyota Prius did well in some front tests and in side tests, although the side airbags there are optional, but it only rated marginal for seat head restraint. The poor performer, Chevrolet Uplander, because of its performance in side crash tests. That's your Money Watch for now. CBSNews.com. newscast.com for more, and I'll send it back to you guys.
Okay, Susan, thank you very much. We have a breaking story now from the Middle East. Let's take a look at the pictures. This is live from Israeli television, the aftermath there. Israeli police saying a Palestinian suicide bomber has apparently set off an explosion. This is in Tel Aviv. The reports early now are that 35 people have been wounded. Again, we're looking at live pictures from Israeli television, the chaotic aftermath there of a suicide bombing in Tel Aviv. We, of course, will have more for you as it becomes available this morning.
And at this point, let's check in with the early show and Harry Smith to see what's coming up. Hi,
Kate,
Harry.
good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Maurice, good to see you. I'll tell you, especially coming on the heels of the 60 Minutes report with Bob Simon. He went into those jails in Israel last night and talked to some of these terrorists and suicide bombers. It's just absolute chilling stuff. So not surprised, I guess, maybe this morning in the aftermath of that. Also coming up today, this Duke investigation, the University of Lacrosse team, charges could be filed. We'll get you the latest on that. Big news, we haven't talked about Natalie Holloway in a while. All of a sudden in Aruba, a new arrest over the weekend. We'll have a report from there. Health Watch, it's allergy season. We'll have tips on how to relieve some of your suffering. And the very funny Hank Azaria live in our studio this morning to talk about Spam-A-Lot, to talk about the new Simpsons movie, and his big hit show, Huff, on Showtime. So all that and more just a little while here on The Early Show.
And we will look forward to it, Harry. Thanks so much.
All right, taking a look at our top stories this morning. A toddler killed by a stray bullet in the Bronx. Police say 2-year-old David Pacheco Jr. was riding with his family on Easter Sunday when a bullet tore through their minivan. It happened in Morris Heights. So far, no arrests.
A funeral today for retired NYPD officer Stephen Vitale. He was shot during an apparent road rage incident last Monday.
And decision day for transit workers who went on strike in December. A judge will decide how much to fine their union, TWU Local 100. The fine could be as much as $3 million.
And we will be right back right after the break. Stay with us.
It is 6:59 on this Monday morning. We welcome you back. Looking outside, 48 degrees, going up to a high today of 59 after a gorgeous weekend. Audrey says, hey, hang in there. The week is going to be great, weather-wise at least. Next weekend, a whole other story. Before we go here, I want to say hello. Welcome to everyone who's watching. Welcome to you, Kate.
Thank you so much, Maurice.
It's a pleasure working with you.
Thank you very much. I come from Lakeville, Massachusetts by way of Little Rock, Arkansas. Been there for the past 6 years, and I'm really looking forward to being back on the East Coast.
Yeah, lover of New York, and here you are.
Absolutely.
Good. Great to have you. Going to have some fun here.
I am.
Each and every morning here on CBS.
And talk about the best weather possible for this next week.
Thanks for watching, everyone. More updates throughout the early show. Have a great day. We'll see you later. See you tomorrow, and see you every day in the morning.